What is your favorite Braves memory? I'll be giving you my top 5 favorite moments as an Atlanta Braves fan on this podcast today. And we'll also be talking about the latest in the CBA negotiations with not only spring training, but now it's looking like the regular season could be in jeopardy as well. All of that on today's episode of Locked On Braves. So let's get into it.
Hey, this is Stacey Gotsoulias,
DC Lundberg,
Ryan Finkelstein,
Taylor Blake Ward,
host of Locked On Yankees,
Locked On Mariners,
Locked On Mets,
Locked On Angels,
and you're listening to Locked On Braves.
Locked On Braves,
Locked On Braves,
part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hey, and welcome back to Locked On Braves, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network, where we are talking about your favorite teams every day. I am your host, Jake Mastroianni. You can follow me on Twitter at shortstopball. Check out my bio there to see everywhere I am covering the game of baseball, including the Atlanta Braves in written form over at tomahawktake.com. Also cover prospects, AA South for Prospects 1500. Also talk about the Birmingham Barons over at Southside Sox and college baseball over at College Baseball Daily. So if it is baseball in the Southeast, I got you covered. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter at shortstopball. Also, please make sure you follow the podcast on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves. It's where I get all the questions for the podcast, have a lot of feedback on episodes. So you want to be part of the conversation, make sure you're following us on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves, and make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube as well. Great platform there in the comments of the videos to have discussions on the podcast and on the Atlanta Braves as well. So make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube. Just over 500 subscribers there. Really do appreciate the support. And thanks for making Locked On Braves your first listen of each and every day. Post episodes right now 3 days a week during the off season, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But during the season, we are 5 days a week. So you got plenty of Atlanta Braves coverage during the year, throughout the year. Today's podcast, we're going to be taking a question from Twitter. This one coming from Chris Chaffee on Twitter, who asked about my favorite moments as a Braves fan. So I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite moments as an Atlanta Braves fan. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear your favorite moments as an Atlanta Braves fan, because this is something that should be specific to you. It'll be different for everybody. There's moments on here. My top moments probably are not the biggest moments in Braves history, but they're the most meaningful to me for various reasons that we'll get into. So I want you to participate in this show as well. I want to know what your top 5 favorite moments are as an Atlanta Braves fan. So make sure you comment on Twitter. Make sure you comment in the comment sections on YouTube as well. Want to hear what your top 5 favorite moments are. And then at the end, we will talk about the latest in the CBA talks, or rather a lack thereof. But let's jump right into it. Going to start off with my top 3 favorite moments as an Atlanta Braves fan. And coming in number 5 is the Ronald Acuna Jr. postseason grand slam in 2018 off Walker Buehler. Look, this was a series we went in knowing we were most likely going to lose. We are down 2-0 in the series, but yet this moment, I mean, I think it spoke a lot for where the franchise was going. I know they got bounced in the first round the next year as well with that rough series against the Cardinals, but it just kind of showed you where this Braves team was going, what they were capable of. And a lot of people forget the Dodgers came back in that game, and it was a home run by Freddie Freeman that put them back on top. So overall, just an incredible game. It felt so big in that series to just get one win. And then again, the year after that, they're hosting, should have won that series against the Cardinals. Then the year after that, they're in the NLCS. The year after that, they're winning the World Series. So, you can really look back to this grand slam by Ronald here and just say that was kind of the jumping off point in the first big step that was a small step overall for the Braves in terms of leading to a World Series. And what's crazy about that at bat, you go back and watch the entire bat, it should have been a walk. It was a 3-1 count, I believe. And Buehler threw a ball high at not even chest level above Ronnie's chest there that should have clearly been ball 4. But the umpire called a strike. Ronnie comes back in there and just absolutely destroyed that baseball. I was not there for it. I was watching on TV, absolutely lost it in my basement as I was watching it down in my man cave here. But what an incredible moment. That's probably, and again, I wasn't there, but just from fans and friends that I've heard from that were there, the loudest they had ever heard Truist Park, or what was SunTrust Park at that point. But just an absolutely crazy moment in, recent Braves history, a great memory that, I obviously is still very fresh on my mind as a huge moment in Braves history, really. Next one, speaking of Braves history, is the Jorge Soler 3-run homer in the World Series. Now, the Braves have so many huge moments from this postseason run, and I've done a list. I've done a list of my top 10 moments from the Braves postseason run. You can go back and check that out on the podcast. But, I think as time goes on, the one moment from that World Series that's going to stick out the most is that 3-run homer from Soler in Game 6. And again, I've said it on here before. I love opening up Twitter every morning, and it seems like there's a new video, a new angle of the Jorge Soler home run. There's been some great videos made out of it. Again, this is a home run Braves fans will be talking about for years and years to come. It is a moment that I don't think I'll ever forget as a fan. It's just a majestic shot in itself, leaving the stadium. But obviously the significance of it with how Max Fried was pitching on the mound, you kind of knew that once Soler hit that ball and the Braves took a 3-0 lead, it was game over. And again, speaking about all the videos and pictures that have come out from that home run, there's one where somebody zoomed in and you could see Max Fried in the dugout, just stone face. Like, he was completely locked in. He wasn't even celebrating the home run. He didn't come off the bench to high five Soler. He was locked in after that first inning, getting out of that jam. And when Soler hit this home run, you saw him beat his chest and point down, looking to the dugout. It was over. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the game was over when he hit that shot, because Max Fried wasn't giving up anything at that point. So I love that moment. Again, I don't think any Braves fan will ever forget that home run from Jorge Soler. So that comes in at number 4 on my list. At number 3, and this may be the earliest memory I have that I can remember. I was 4 years old in 1992 in the NLCS when Sid Bream slid home. And I don't have the best memory in the world, I will admit that. But this is something that I vividly remember. Now, I was not awake to see it live. I was actually already asleep. Like I said, I was 4 years old at the time. But I can vividly remember hearing my mom scream at the top of her lungs. And I was scared to death. I ran downstairs to see what it was. And she was jumping up and down watching that play of Sid Bream sliding into home. And she let me stay up, obviously watch the replay and the post-game celebration. And I honestly think that's where my love for the Atlanta Braves came in. I mean, seeing somebody get so excited over something like that, over a baseball game, that's really where my passion and love for the game, for the Atlanta Braves, if I had to look back and pinpoint one moment, that was it. I mean, like I said, I vividly remember that moment, running down the stairs, seeing my mom just screaming after Sid Bream scored that run to send the Braves to the World Series in 1992. Obviously an iconic moment. I got the bobblehead behind me if you're watching on YouTube there. Love that moment. Clearly one of the best moments in franchise history and one of my favorite moments as a Braves fan. I'm going to take a break, come back and give you my top 2 moments. It's the new year, so that means New Year's resolutions. If yours is about getting fit or eating healthier, make sure you include a Built Bar in your plan. Built Bar makes it easier to stick to your resolution because it tastes so good you will want to eat these Built Bars. Unlike other protein bars out there, which can be chalky or waxy or taste like a chemical spill, you know the ones I'm talking about. You want to eat healthy, but it gets so boring. By now in the new year, you're already in February. I know what you're thinking. Where's the chocolate? Built bars are covered in 100% real chocolate. Most Built bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, just 4 net carbs, and only 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar, which usually has around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. Here's an idea for the new year. Go to all your secret stashes out there at home, in the pantry, in the car, in the office, wherever. Throw out all those sugary or calorie-filled treats. Replace them with Built bars. So when you're craving a snack or a treat, you just reach in there, grab something that's healthy, tastes delicious, packed with plenty of protein to get you going. And there's so many flavors to choose from. You got the cookies and cream, peanut butter brownie, mint brownie, which are some of my favorites out there. And they're always coming out with new flavors at built.com. So make sure you go there often to check out what flavors they have. And while you're there, make sure you use our promo code LOCKEDON15 to get 15% off your order. Again, that's LOCKED15 at built.com for 15% off your order. All right, so those 3 moments I just mentioned, those were all moments I experienced on TV, and they are great moments. Again, they're 3 of my favorite moments as an Atlanta Braves fan. But my top 2 moments here, these are moments I was there for in person. And when you're there in person, it just makes it so much more special. Number 2 on my list is the Brooks Conrad walk-off grand slam against the Reds back in 2010. And again, one of my favorite moments, just period, outside of, baseball, whatever it is, just one of my favorite moments in my life is this game, is that moment. And there's many reasons for that. One being that I was there, another being it was Father's Day. I was there with my dad, so that was obviously, a very special moment, very special day for us to be able to go there and do that together. Just kind of reminding you how the game went a little bit, because obviously everybody remembers the walk-off grand slam, but Tommy Hanson started that game. Rest in peace, Tommy Hanson. He gave up 8 runs in the second inning, and this game was over before it started. It's a Sunday afternoon game in May. It was blistering hot, and just about everybody left. I mean, by the middle of the game, the stadium had cleared out, so much so that me and my dad, who started out in the outfield bleachers, moved behind the first base dugout. I mean, you could sit anywhere you wanted to at that point. This was a blowout of a game. I can even, remember me and my dad talking about, should we leave? And, it's a big trip for us coming from Birmingham. It's a 2.5 hour drive. So we were like, no, we're just going to stick it out. We came all the way out here, to watch a game. So we stuck around, and, it's just, when you're down by that much, it really just becomes more of a relaxing game. You're not really worried about the outcome or anything, just enjoying your time, go grab another hot dog or whatever. So we're just enjoying the game, enjoying time together. But I can remember when it got to that 9th inning and, one runner got on base, another runner got on base. They score a couple runs. They start inching a little closer. And next thing you know, all those emotions as baseball fans start coming in. And next thing you know, this is a ball game again, and the Braves got a chance. And so that nervous energy comes back. You start sweating. You just starting to really get into the moment here. And I can remember just going completely silent. Me and my dad quit talking. We did not talk the entire inning. And I'm just sitting there, sitting as still as I can, got my hands resting on my knees, kind of just rocking like Leo Mazzoni back and forth a little bit, and just glued onto the field and what's happening, and just not wanting to move or say anything or mess up what is going on. And lo and behold, they bring the tying run to the plate, and then they bring the winning run to the plate, and it's Brooks Conrad. And like I told you, we were sitting on the first base side behind the first base dugout. So we had the same angle that Brooks Conrad had. And if you watch the video, he rounds first base, hands on his head, because it looks like the left fielder caught it. And I didn't look up the left fielder's name before I got started recording. I should have. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. But it goes off his glove over the wall, and everybody loses it. Me included. Me and my dad are hugging. We're high-fiving. Again, there's nobody there, so there was nobody really to celebrate with around us. But the 1,000 or so of us that were left there just went absolutely crazy. It was one of the greatest comebacks I've ever witnessed, especially in person. Just an incredible moment. I mean, again, like I said, one of my favorite moments just in life in general was that moment. Now that I'm going through it and thinking about it, maybe this might be my top moment. I don't know, but it's certainly an incredible moment for me and my dad, and just being there and witnessing that, sticking around for that game as hot as it was, as much as the Braves were getting beat. It was just a lot of fun, a memory that I'll never forget. And my top moment here, this one, I love it as well. And again, it's my top moment. And it's a Jason Hayward home run, debut home run in his first game, first at bat ever. And I think the reasoning for this is just, I love Jason Hayward. Even now, I'm a big Jason Hayward fan. I'm always going to root for that guy. He's just somebody that you want to root for, you want to see succeed. And I think his debut with the Braves is one of the most anticipated debuts of all time, because you had the entire offseason to kind of build it up, him just destroying balls in spring training. All of that, really led up to the anticipation of this moment. And that stadium was packed that day. And I mean, everybody was there to just see Jason Hayward. This was, a spectacle of spectacles, to be there to witness Jason Hayward in his first game with the Braves. You had to be there if you were a Braves fan. And I remember being there. I was in college at the time, so there with a bunch of college friends. We're sitting up under the Gas South sign, and he hit that ball off Carlos Zambrano, and the place went crazy. It was insane when that ball left his bat. You knew it was gone, an absolute blast. That is the loudest I had ever heard Turner Field. And I've been to playoff games at Turner Field. I went to hundreds of games at Turner Field. I had never heard it like that. And I've heard other fans, say the same thing that were at that game. It was the loudest I had ever heard that stadium. One of the most exciting moments I've ever been a part of. Like I said, the Brooks Conrad moment was great, and it was more so special, between me and my dad. But like I said, there was nobody there to celebrate with. Like, I honestly don't think there was anybody within 15, 20 feet of me and my dad when Conrad hit that home run. This place was packed for Jason Hayward in its opening day, but mainly everybody was there to see Jason Hayward, and he hit that ball. And I just remember running around the Gas South area up there, high-fiving everybody. It was insane. One of my favorite moments as an Atlanta Braves fan, for sure. All right, take another break, and then we'll come back and talk about the latest with the CBA negotiations. There might be less football being played, but BetOnline has way more stuff to bet on this playoff season. From scored totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the number one spot for all things NFL betting in 2022. And with the new year comes a new updated desktop and mobile website. So sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to get started. And it's not just football. BetOnline's basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC odds coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your number one online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so let's talk about the CBA for a minute here. I've tried to be as optimistic as possible about these CBA negotiations, and just hoping, praying that spring training isn't going to get delayed. But even I'm starting to give in now. Spring training most definitely will not be starting on time, with pitchers and catchers set to report, 10 days from now, 10 or 12 days from now. Players made a garbage offer on, I believe, Monday or Tuesday of this week. I think it may have been Tuesday. Didn't move the needle, didn't move anything forward at all. And, they basically did that because the owner's offer before that was garbage and didn't move the needle at all. So they thought, let's be childish and make another garbage offer back in return. So look, I got no love for either side here. They clearly have no love for me as the fan. So I get a lot of fans want to be on the player side on this for whatever reason. Don't fool yourself into thinking that they're doing this for you. They're doing this for them and their paychecks, and good for them. That's their right to do so. But I got no love for either side in this argument. Major League Baseball has asked the Federal Mediation and Consolation Service for assistance in ending the lockout. The NFL and NBA have done this in the past to help get through negotiations. It's probably a good move, one that I hope the players approve, but getting these two sides to approve on anything right now, even a mediator, seems unlikely, but they need something to help push them along, to help get them through this, because we are in serious jeopardy of not only having spring training delayed at this point, but having the regular season delayed. If there's not an agreement in place by the next 2-3 weeks, certainly before March, there's no way the regular season can start on March 31st because the players, they need at least 4 weeks to get ready. Pitchers in particular, starting pitchers in particular, need at least 4 weeks to get ready. So they don't have an agreement in place by the end of February. Even then, you still need 2 or 3 weeks for the offseason to finish. So again, it's looking, we're talking that once, you can do that stuff during spring training. I know, but I mean, you're needing 6 weeks really after the lockout ends, after the CBA is agreed upon, before you can start regular season. That means these two sides got to come to an agreement within the next 2 or 3 weeks, or the regular season is going to get delayed. Luckily, I was not able to get opening day tickets to the Braves because I don't know that game is going to happen right now. I really hope the Angels games happen in July because I got tickets to all 3 of those and a hotel's booked. So I'll be really mad if that doesn't happen or that gets pushed around. But I've tried to be optimistic with it, but these just hate each other. They're so prideful right now. They're not doing what's best for the game, and that's either side. Again, I don't agree with either side in this. I don't love either side in this. I'm not picking a side. I think they're both just doing what's in their own best interest. They're not doing what's best for the game. They're not doing what's best for the fan on either side here. But looking like spring training at the very least will get delayed. Again, if something doesn't happen here soon, and Major League Baseball already said they weren't going to make a counter proposal later this week, even though they had said they were going to. My guess is they're waiting to see about this mediator to see if the players approve before making another proposal. But right now we have no scheduled meetings on hand. We have no schedule for a counter proposal from the owners. So we're dead in the water right now, and it's really in bad shape. I'm really fearful for the regular season at this point. So hated to end on a sour note there after talking about some of my favorite moments as a Braves fan. Please let me know on Twitter, again, at @LockedOn_Braves and at @ShortstopBall, what your top 5 favorite moments are as a Braves fan. I want to hear what your favorite moments are as well. Because like I said, these aren't necessarily just the best moments in Braves history. These are what your favorite moments are as a fan. So let me hear those on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast as well, wherever you get your podcasts. But that will do it for this episode of Locked On Braves, and we will talk to you next time.